I don't know about you, but that shit fits good.
I'm amped. I'm amped for great. What city are you in right now? Where are you at?
I'm in Orlando, Florida.
Nice. I'm like,
Yeah.
you look so good. You look so good. You don't age. I swear to God. I'm in
Babe.
the middle. I'm in the middle of one of my like horrific tornado days where I've been up since 6. I'm doing 9 million radio shows. I just finished a Zoom. I literally had to go to the bathroom real quick. I'm coming back. I have no makeup on, and I'm like, I would only know makeup for you, Justin, because you're like my brother.
I love you so much. Like we don't, it's the road though. So like we lose a lot of weight. We barely eat. We just do push-ups and crunches all day so we can look really good for the stage. And then so when we're on the road, we just get all like, blah. But once we get home, it's like, it's back to the norm. But yeah, we're in Orlando today. Just woke up off the bus and getting ready for a show out here. But I miss you. I miss you guys.
I know it's been forever. You've been doing a lot of Houston shows though. You guys have been in town quite a bit.
Yeah, we can all, Houston is always been such a huge support system that when all this stuff happened last year and stuff, it was kind of like the testing grounds to do an acoustic show and then do an acoustic show with the band. And then we're like, okay, Buzz, let's do a rock show. So it's, how Houston is. I just love it. You and I grew up over there.
I know everyone's amped to see you. The big Halloween party is what we're going to get ready for. I'm not even ready. Like, it's so funny. You guys have been doing the road at least. We are still so unconditioned to like being in this world. I'm so used to being at home. I'm luckily, like, I went to the Green Day Hella Mega. That popped my cherry on being out after the whole pandemic. So
how was that?
It was so sick. It was so sick. Green Day is one of those bands that we grew up listening to, right? So you just know you like them. And then when you watch them, you're like, holy shit, they're so good live. Like you forget that they're just like, they're the kings. Like
I've never seen them live. Well, no, I did. Didn't they play Lollapalooza like in 94 or something?
Yeah, but I'm like, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
I was, because I'm older than you, youngster. But yeah, man, I've never seen Green Day play live, and I'm super jealous that everybody got to go see them play.
Have you ever seen Metallica live?
No.
What?
Ever? See, that's the thing with people in bands, Theresa. Everybody, all you guys can go see bands. We're on the road, like if Metallica comes through, or if like Green Day comes through, or if like Deftones used to come through, or I would be like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. I'm in New York. They're in Texas. Holy shit, And then I reach out to their agents and I'm like, hey, so how about give me a little opening slot on that tour? Hey. And they're like, no. I think it's because they know I come hard on that stage, I go real hard.
You do come hard on that stage. That's
hard
not bad. That sounds What the?
I made you say it. Oh
that's
God.
That's what she said. Oh my God. I'm sweating right now. That just made me sweat.
Oh my God. How are your kiddos?
The kiddos are good. So my youngest just turned 3. So that's like the other issue with me is I can do all this, but then I've got a 3-year-old who's sucking the life out of me, which I love, but it's so much work. It's so much work. And I'm like, play your little fiddle, you're a little violin for me, but I do so much now, and I'm so grateful. iHeartRadio is good to me, and I'm a part of all this really big stuff. And then at the same time, I've got the 3-year-old, and I'm just like, woo, like it is a lot.
Is she, let me ask you, is she the terrible 2s or is she terrible 3s?
Well, he's a little boy, so that makes it worse because he's 3 and he's the terrible. So my daughter is like 15 now.
I know.
Which is crazy.
And I can't believe that. I remember when she was like a baby.
I remember even I remember at one of the Buzz Fests that you were at, and my first husband, her dad, who Ryan.
Yeah.
We were like, hey, and you were like, ah, and I was pregnant with her at that Buzz Fest, and like we didn't even know. So that's crazy. I mean, yeah, 15. I'm mind blown by
it. You look better now than you did back then. Let me just say that.
You know why? And you'll get this because I'm not polluting myself with drugs and alcohol like I did back in the day.
Toxic ass people.
And toxic ass people. It's quite amazing when you cut the bad people out of your life and you start like actually taking care of yourself,
Yeah.
it's like your body is a wilted flower. You start to blossom and come to life.
People actually, there are people out there that will like to be around you and like what you have to say and give you compliments and enjoy your company. What? Really? Holy crap. But life is good, man. Life is so good. So wait, I've got a 14-year-old daughter who just went to homecoming.
I saw.
And oh my God, she looks like she's just stunning. She's just stunning. And I know all these boys. I know.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when because like, so my daughter's 15 and she's boy crazy, but we haven't had that like boyfriend. So I'm like, I'm gonna be the scary one where I'm like, you touch her, I swear to God. Like, I'll be that parent. What are you gonna do when the guy, he's gonna knock on your door and he's gonna be like, hello, Mr. Justin. And he's got tattoos head to toe like you, but he just has that weird, he's got that thing in his eye where he's not good news. What do you do? How do you approach that?
Well, I already had that happen, except he was like trying to be all sweet with me via text. And I was like, well, why don't you just come over and talk to me? And he's like, no, man, no. And then he started texting these kind of inappropriate things to my daughter, right? And so I got in my Cadillac and I drove to his house and I sat outside his house, Theresa. And I called him and I said, look out your window. And he looked out and I said, I'm going to break your knees if you talk to my daughter like that again.
Yeah.
And my wife texted me and she goes, are you over there? You will get sued. You turn your butt around and come home. And I'm like, it just clicked. I was like, wow, I need to go home. But that's who I am because I know who I was when I was 14. It's a bad boy with good intentions, but I was still a bad boy. But what he was texting my daughter, I was like, I got in the Cadillac, drove to his house and sat there. He looked like a little
bitch. I'm sorry I said it.
Yes. And that's what was good about COVID for me is I got to physically threaten a 14-year-old boy.
You know what? That could be a new Blue October song. I got in my car. I can hear the lyrics right now.
I'm gonna work on that for you. I'm gonna work on that. Yeah. But I mean, that's what I know. You can be that same hardcore girl though.
Yeah.
And you will be the one. But I mean, because I don't know your husband is so hot.
Like my husband. So it's so funny because Ryan, right? My first husband, and I mean he can have his moments, but I think he's softer than he could have been. So now my husband now is like this is what he always says to Brooklyn. Did any boys talk to you today? And she'll be like, oh my God, no, maybe, I don't know. And he's like, I'll hand them their lungs. Like that's his big thing. He's like, you tell them I'm gonna hand them their lungs. And she's like, stop it. Oh my God, like stop. Like she's always doing that.
Deep inside that hot man saying that to her, you're like going, baby, stop it. Because that boy is super gorgeous, dude.
He's a good looking guy. I got lucky.
I see posts of that dude and I'm like, I might switch teams. But then I'm like, I can't do that to Theresa because I know if I put my George Michael swag on, I might come up as a winner. But congratulations. So that's good. At least I'm not the only guy that will literally take a boy and pull his spine out.
I've been like that since like Brooklyn was in kindergarten. Like when she started kindergarten, I remember there was like a bully session and I'm like, we're bullying in kindergarten. And there was this girl who was like really mean to my daughter and Brooklyn would come home and she was like, I don't know whatever did. She just always picked on the girls. Right. Yeah. So I found out, cause this is how I am. And I was like, okay. So my best friend and I went to go have lunch with her because when you're in elementary school, you can like go every day and have lunch with your kids.
Oh yeah.
So we would go and have lunch with Brooklyn and we would just bird dog this little kindergartner and be like,
you just sat and stared her down.
My best friend and I was like, we're going to go to, my best friend would get up and I was like, we're going to go to jail. Stop, sit down. These are kindergartners, but we're still going to give her the look. Like and she'd look at us and we'd be like, and I was a kindergarten girl, but things got better and my daughter killed her with kindness and they ended up being friends. But the point is at kindergarten, I'm doing that to a little girl. So could you imagine what I would do to a guy? And I've dated all those guys back in the day. So I know.
I was going to say, you've been in the rock world for some time. So like, they don't even know what you've been through. there was a kindergarten. I flew up to Nebraska because you know my history with my daughter Blue. She lives with me now, thank God. But I would fly up to Nebraska, and the only time I could see her is I would go visit her in kindergarten, right? No, like first or second grade. And she had this little bully boy that kept bullying her. And so I went up there, and they were playing this game called Foursquare.
Yeah.
Where you hit the ball back and forth. And I was like, I'd like to play. And I walked up there, she's like, Dad, no. And he was the guy, he was the champ, right?
You were like,
He hit it to me, and I went, smack! Bah! I hit him right in the face. And I'm like, whoa! It's like,
that's so great.
I made him so uncomfortable. I think he peed his pants, which is great.
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. I'm horrified about, because like I've experienced all of this horrible stuff in the world, like, you know, road code, and I can't even tell you, being backstage doing interviews and seeing girlfriends when I know who the wives are, and I'm just like,
dude,
you know, all
that's crazy, right? That is the craziest part. Is like, I can say to you, 9 years ago, before I got clean, I was that kind of guy. You know, like I was like, hey man, wherever love takes me, I'm going. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't care, man. I don't care if you're a dude or if you're a goat. It feels good, do it. Tastes good, eat it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's how it was. And but now I see it, and Theresa, I'm like the guy that comes up to them and goes, I know you're married. I know you're the opener, but I know what's going on. Personally, I don't agree with it. But if I see that kind of behavior again, I'm going to call you one. Get your ass backstage and clean yourself up. That's me.
That, you know why though? There's a stage of band people. You have your freshman level band people who are new to it, and everything's bright and shiny, and their dicks are out to everything that moves.
Everything.
The sophomore level bands are like just trying to get that second album. They're kind of getting a little more serious. You know, and when you get to as you go older, that it's everything's like Papa Roach is a great example. I love you,
dude.
Papa Roach.
Perfect example.
Perfect example of like, it's dialed in now, and all that shit's in the past, and they are like in the zone.
Yeah.
You know, it's Breaking Benjamin the same way and all that. So
there's only a handful of people, and like all these bands like Seether and Papa Roach and Breaking Benjamin and all those bands. I mean, I used to party with those guys. And it's so, I know you did at BuzzFest. Anyway, I'm not even going to go there. But what I'm saying is, it's so good to see that the handful of artists that still rock and they still make great music, they got their shit together. Yeah. But what was crazy is that I think it had a lot to do with the toxic people, that we had a lot of toxic people in our lives way back in that history. So why would we want to be faithful? Why would we want to be, you know, if this person's going to make me feel good, like I said, if it feels good, do it. If it tastes good, eat it. You know, so it's like, that's just it. And so that's just how it is. But now when you have a support system and you see what works and what doesn't, and realize that you have a catalog of music that people can just, you don't have to be number one. You don't. You just have to put out good music. And like Jacoby is the perfect example of that.
Yeah.
He is a baller, dude. He is a baller. And he's in such good shape, and him and his girl are so strong. And
yeah, I talk about that. I'm like, when I first got here, so I've been to Houston, I mean, like practically my entire adult life, like 17 years ago. And those first BuzzFest, I was like, man, I have hardcore partied with Ben and Jacoby and Sean. And I remember when him and Amy were dating, like these massive after parties of just and now it's all, everyone's clean, which is good, you know, and I'm so proud of them. Even Shinedown, Brent's the same way. It's so good to see.
I forgot Shinedown. You're right, dude. Shinedown is such good people.
Such great people, and they're all dialed in, and I absolutely love it. And you know, I don't know, it's good too for the listeners, you know, for all of the fans out there who watch you. And by the way, let's just cut to that chase, because I now am on in a million cities, right? And I'm very happy. I'm so fortunate. I'm on everywhere, and I always pimp Blue October shows, and it makes me so proud. Like, I think you had an Indianapolis show, and I was like, those are my boys, Blue October. Dude, like, I love it.
That's so great. Like when I saw that you were pimping our show in Indianapolis, I was like, Theresa, it's just great to see people succeed, you know?
I
It's
love
really
it.
great to see people succeed.
I love having you on the road, and I love that these stations do all this great stuff that we've been doing with you forever. So
Yeah.
it makes me very proud of you all. I mean, we're all growing up. We're all becoming such good
But you
adults.
still look like 23 years old. It's crazy.
I'm 25. I will look at me. I will be, and this is an ongoing joke. I will be Cher one day. When I'm 75, I might not be able to move my face, but I will look exactly the same as I did when I was 25 years old.
You will. Your man is a lucky man. Okay, if you can be Cher, do you know who I want to be? I want to be the guy from, what's his name? Dean, the guy from the zombie show with the leather jacket who beats people up with
Megan,
them.
you look like him right now.
That's me. I want to be him.
You
Can I
should
do
just
that?
dress like that for Halloween. For the Halloween show, you should wear that jacket, do a red scarf. And I've got a Negan bat. I'll bring it. And then you can like just be
That's it. I'm doing it.
I'm bringing it. I'm not kidding. I'm gonna bring the bat because
I'm not kidding. I'm gonna wear this with a red scarf.
That's it. Now, okay, let's talk Halloween because this is why I knew I'd be able to chat with you just about bullshit because
Yeah.
that's
What are you gonna be for Halloween? This is like legendary. What's Theresa gonna be?
So the Dos Equis Halloween Bash, we've started from literally like a little tiny bar in the Heights. I'm trying to think what bar that was.
What was it? Because I know it.
Do you have that memory where you're like, I don't remember, like, is your memory shot or is that just me because of the
If it's about Houston, then no, my memory's not shot. But if it's about anywhere else in the world, yeah, I don't have a memory.
I'm
Houston,
like
though, I know everything.
Well, we were in the Heights. I can't think of what bar it was. And so we started it real tiny, and it's every year it's just been a different thing. We used to do it at the Derrick Hotel and then, we swapped it up. So I've gone through all the, like, I've been Britney Spears.
Yep.
I've been everything possible. So, well, I can't say what I'm going to be because it's a surprise. It's a group effort. My husband's going to be actually part of it. We never do couples costumes because we always are on two different levels. So it's a couples costume-ish thing, and there's a group activity with it, and blood will be involved. That's all I can say.
Can your husband maybe think about doing either a sexy nurse outfit or or a Magic Mike outfit, maybe?
Yeah. I wanted him to be He-Man and get like a wig and just be topless.
Oh, and you could be his cougar. He could like just ride you all night.
I could be like Battle Cat, and that could be
oh yeah.
What tell me, we have to go back. What was the best Halloween costume you were ever as a kid? Like, what's that costume where you're like, oh, that was it?
My mom made me in 1986. My mom sewed. I was so in love with Rocky Balboa that my mom sewed. Is that we sewed like the robe, and I had the boxing gloves, and my dad and my mom were really good at makeup, so they gave me like a big shiner. And I mean, me and my boy went to like all these costume contests, and he was E.T., but I was Rocky Balboa, and I will always remember being Rocky Balboa. And even when it was over with, I sat out on the front porch in Houston and off in the Heights off 11th Street and TC Jester, and I just put "It's the Eye of the Tiger," and I sat on the front porch going, whew. The mailman would come up, I'd be like, "Leave the mail right there." Like, it was dope, man. I got to be George Michael too one year, and I rocked that shit. George Michael's my lover.
Oh, did you have the earring? Did you have the dangly earring and the whole thing?
And the jacket and the hot pants.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
Yeah. What was your favorite as a kid?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I was so bored. I think I didn't become like this creepy chick, like the blood and the gore thing until later. I don't even know. Like, I honestly have no. I think one time when I was in grade school, I was a housewife, and I borrowed one of my dad's cigarettes, and he used to smoke Vantage Ultralights, and I had a robe, and I put rollers in my hair, and my mom was like, "Jesus Christ, Theresa, seriously?" And I was like, "It's not lit, it's okay." But I think I was a housewife one year.
Oh my God, that's so good.
The real cigarette was like the kicker, but I don't know.
What? Did I tell you this already? Tell me, buzz me. I'm getting to the point where I repeat stories. But did I tell you that my daughter told me she wants to be a sexy ghost face?
Oh my God, the sexy ghost face.
So and I said, wait. What's up with ghost face? That's cool. But what's up with sexy ghost face? What's that mean, Theresa? What the hell she gonna do to her face?
That means she's gonna be ghost face, with a mask, and she's gonna wear like a mini something
You
hot
mother.
pants.
Okay. I will. You are not too old to be spanked, young. No, it's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it. See, I remember being in high school. When I was in high school, I was a sexy baby. How disgusting would that be now?
You're messed up.
I saw photos the other day. I was going through like bins and I was like, I was a sexy baby. How did nobody like stop this process? But everyone was like a sexy devil. You have to add a sexy to one of your Halloween costumes. So
Well, you can't just skip over this. How is a baby sexy? What'd you wear? A diaper? And then like, is that all you wore?
I wore like I made this like little bonnet and I wore a little lace skirt, like
that would do it.
And I had a pacifier that I sucked on all night, which was
man, now you got me. That's just messed up. Did your husband know you did this? Did you tell him this before he agreed to marry you?
Trust me, there's so many things he knows. He was like, I don't want to know that. I don't want to know that. Because I mean, I've gone around the world a couple times but look, you and I are the greatest parents because we have the most life experience. If your daughter came home cross-eyed, you'd be like, I know what you did, where you did, who you did it, and what color shirt everybody was wearing. I can identify anything with anybody. So it's a life skill. It's a life skill.
It's life skills. And I'm just happy that you are now officially darker than I am with sucking on a pacifier in a baby outfit and calling it sexy. You just raised your game.
I know.
To a whole nother. Does Breaking Benjamin know you did this? Because he'd write a song about that. That guy is crazy.
I don't think I told Ben that yet. I'm gonna just spread the word.
I used to know Ben back in the day, and wow.
I remember taking at one of the BuzzFest after parties, one of my favorite like moments that I remember, like just doing Jaeger shots with Ben, and he was like, he's that tall.
Yeah.
And he just was, it was just, wow.
Ben was amazing because I remember back in my young days, and I hope Ben forgives me for saying this. Please, Ben, I'm sorry. You can edit it out if he doesn't. But I always looked up to him because he always looked kind of like this normal kind of like almost more handsome, Weezerish, kind of nerdy, but kind of like, but he just looked really suave and clean cut. And then when he would sing, he would just be like, what the fuck? But I remember I was so impressed because I was this little kid in 1999 and they're huge. And I was like, are you Mr. Ben? I remember saying that. And he goes, yeah. And these are my wives. You're right. And he had twins that were
they Asian?
They were blonde. That's all I remember. I remember going,
he had two girls with him when I was with him once.
I was like, how did you get twin sisters? And he looked at me like, it's a good life, kid. Keep it up. And I was like, you're my hero. I mean, like that guy was a stud. He just had the thing where like, he looked normal.
Yeah.
Like kind of shyish, boyish, but when he freaking opened his mouth, it was just like,
yeah, I just like, I mean,
so good.
He went
so good. Same with Jacoby. Like, I don't know. Every time I saw Jacoby, I was like, God, how's he have that much energy? And nowadays he just works out constantly, goes on runs. And that's the same thing we do around here because, we're 28 now and it's hard on 28-year-old.
I understand that. It's very hard. It's very difficult. You know what? Before we could talk for hours and I know you have to go, but I wanted to ask you one thing because I know when people talk about Blue October, and the one thing I don't have is I didn't grow up here. Yeah. So I don't have these great, like, cause people would be like, did you ever go to this venue to see concerts? And I was like, I didn't live here until like 2005, I think. What was one of the best venues you went to go see a concert at, like back in the day before you were like just Blue October? Numbers. I put in Numbers.
I saw Blind Melon at Numbers. I saw come on, Shannon Hoon, dude. And then years later, and that was like the night before he passed away. And so, and years later, I played Numbers and I'm getting ready backstage and I looked down and it says Shannon Hoon was here. And I was like, almost cried. I was just like, oh, he's such a legend. I saw David Bowie and 9 Inch Nails in Numbers. So Jane's addiction in numbers. Come on.
I wish that was the one thing I wish I would have been here, because I mean, I went to numbers numerous times, but it wasn't to see any important band, I'll tell you that. But
yeah, it was to dance and get some drinks.
You know, just have fun.
I remember how many chicks I used to make out with in numbers. That was a great thing. I could go in there and it was just like, she's cute. Come here. Ah.
I think I've been to so many now. I mean, I've been to the seediest of New York clubs, and in LA, the Grove. I've been to the worst of the worst. New Orleans, some of the skankiest bathrooms. Numbers had the skankiest bathroom I've ever been in the entire country.
There was something hot about it. See, that's where I'm weird. I'm like, that bathroom is like fantasy file for me. That bathroom is like something hot about that heroin chic bathroom with all the crackheads in it.
Oh, I can't believe the babies that were probably made, the little crack babies made, the numbers babies, little numbers babies that were made in that bathroom. I've literally walked in and I was like, it was the worst bathroom I've ever experienced. And I'm honored I had that opportunity.
Is it still open?
I don't think so. Now I say that, but I don't know, because I haven't been there in, I mean, probably 10 years. That was the last time we went.
Now, if you were to think, like, I also, on the other hand, when I got older and I wanted to see bigger venues, I would go to the Woodlands Pavilion and I would see bands like Midnight Oil, Toad the Wet Sprocket, Live, Rage Against the Machine. And I mean, that was dope. But Numbers is always the one that will raise me as that borderline new wave punk rock, you know, before it got real alternative, like when The Cure was really hitting hard and I was just going into high school, like everybody dressed dark with their eyes dark, and man, it was a good time.
I mean, that was one of my first memories of you when I first was introduced to Blue October, was all that guy liner, baby. You had the guy liner going on.
I did, until I got all puffy. And then when you wear guy liner as a puffy dude, you look like a chubby penguin in a stupid suit. Why didn't you tell me I look stupid, Theresa? I look stupid.
No, you never look stupid. It made you looked more
plump, like a turkey.
No,
don't lie to me.
You look more like demonic emo. You had that next level, like South Park character emo, where it was just
it was just like Justin's he's way out now. When I was skinny, it was awesome. Do not wear guy liner when you get puffy. That is something that we all should. That's something you need to tell your young bands, Theresa. Listen to Justin, lead singer. You're a little puffy. Take the guy liner off. You look like a tired penguin.
I agree. It works. It's the same with women as well. So
that's like Danny DeVito. You can't be Danny DeVito up there, you know? It's like,
no. Look, all y'all went through that. Everyone had to go through that phase. Brent went through that phase. Now you're all beefcake. Look at you. You're all beefcake. Show up and stand up. Give us a twirl. Give it to the ladies. Come on. I know you love it. You love it.
I do. I take pride in myself now. I love myself.
I can't with you.
Hey, some call me a narcissist, you know, but that's okay. I love
You know what? My husband's a narcissist. It's all good.
Your husband's hot. He can be a narcissist all freaking day.
It's called confidence. And that was one of the things that turned me on about him, was that, you know, I'm so used to being the alpha personality and walking into any room and talking to people without knowing them. And he is that times 10. And honestly, that was one of the things that I was like, look at that. He could walk into any room and everyone loves him. Now, when he's on the radio talking sports or on Twitter, he'll start some shit, but that's his job. But in real life, I mean, I love watching him work a room. That like turns me on right now. So that's one of his.
That's so cool. I love to see that. Even when you talk about him, I see adoration in your eyes, and that's dope. That's like Sid and Nancy shit, minus the dying.
No, we've got that Sid and Nancy thing going on. We look like we're all put together, but we're dark and dirty when the door's closed. And I mean, that matters, you know.
I know. You dress him up like a baby and make him suck on a pacifier. You fucking weirdo.
I wear my sexy baby outfit for him. So
I love you.
You'll see him Saturday. He will be there. You're gonna love our costume. I love you so much for
I love you.
30 minutes of your time. And Saturday, I'm going to bring my Negan bat. You're going to wear a red scarf. I have one if you need one. And tickets at Bayou Music Center, which I haven't been inside of Bayou and Chevelle. I saw Chevelle in 2019. And I think that's the last time I was inside of Bayou. So I'm excited to get in the venue.
Well, I can't wait to see you.
Who's opening? Who's the opening band?
A band called Yam House.
Okay. Tickets are on sale. There's not that many tickets left. I was looking today and a lot of the seats on top, I think there's only like a handful, but thebuzz.com, everyone can buy their tickets. Saturday is going to be epic. And you have officially made this the biggest Dos Equis Halloween bash, obviously.
Aww.
Over the hotel parties and stuff, like this is it. So you're my baby boo, and I love you for doing this.
If you ever need anything, you know I love you and have so much respect for you. You just call me anytime you need anything, okay? And tell your husband I want a picture with him at some point tomorrow.
I will. We'll get it done. All right. I love you so much.
Tell Elliot I said hi too, okay?
I will.
I love you, Theresa.
Bye, doll.
Bye, love.
Bye.